And in the workplace, one of the things that we talked about is that the spiritual advantage in the workplace. Now, how important, what exactly does that look like in day-to-day workplace and in a professional environment? The advantages of having that as well. And if you have any examples.
Yeah, definitely. When I said that God is the center of everything.
Yes.
Yeah. As believers, we have what I like to call supernatural advantage. And it can be at work, not just for spiritual things, but for other things. By the way, your work is not secular. Your work is also spiritual because you're doing it as unto God. So practically, the Holy Spirit can give you insights on what to do. I remember very vividly, or sometime last year, I was working on this project at work, and we're trying to figure out a number was not correct, and we're trying to figure out why it wasn't correct, because the model was correct, but the final number was not correct, and that was my task. And I remember just thinking about it okay, I found what was not correct, but how do I extract it? Well, just something. And I just remember just laying on my bed and praying language of the Holy Spirit, and I had a function that I didn't think about. And immediately that solved the problem. So a lot of times, right, speaking in tongues, for example, is not just for you to edify yourself. You can speak in tongues, and when you pray, there are certain things that float to the surface of your mind. That's the word of the Lord to you. That's something. So you can actually stay in the place of prayer and get insights concerning anything. Think about Daniel. He was a government official in his day. Yeah. And at work, they needed to figure something out. He told them, give me time to pray. And when he went to the place of prayer, he got that insight. So in the same way, insight, understanding the help of God. It was this week, I had a demo for one of the stakeholders. I was going to show them something, and for some reason I just felt very unprepared. I'd done the work, but there was just this level of and I remember just saying, God help me, because I'd read a book recently. I was on a flight and I read a book about the ministry of angels and Dancing with Angels by Kevin Basconi, something like that. And he had said something that one of the ways that you can activate the help of angels is to ask for help. When you get to that point where you're like, God help me, you activate the ministry of angels. I remembered that, and I just immediately said, God help me. So cut a long story short, after that demo, they had sent a message to say they were very impressed. Everything went well. And I'm like, the way I was feeling,
are you sure?
This feedback,
it's not you.
But I knew that it was the help of God. Nice. So definitely, God really incorporating him into work. It helps a lot.
So you use the ministry of angels to your advantage, and it's good.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's also glorify God at the end of the day, so it's good. Let's move on to using skill sets and how to actually use those skill sets to advance your career. What skill sets do you think are very important? As much as we say, okay, everybody wants to go into AI, everyone wants to go into data, everyone wants to go into tech. What are the skill sets that are non-negotiables?
Okay, and this may be unconventional, but I would say soft skills.
Really?
There are hard skills and there are soft skills. Hard skills are your technical skills. Oh, I can use Excel, I can write SQL, I can write Python codes and all those things. Those are hard skills. Soft skills are kind of like people skills, right? Are you reliable, right? If they say, oh, get this thing done by such a time, are they sure that you will do it by that time? Are you, how good is your communication? We are in a remote age, right? You want to communicate. There's something we call over communicating. Oh, I'm working on this thing, I'm not done yet, but so far these are the 5 things I've done. You can check it out here. This will be done by 5:15 or something. How can you communicate? Can you lead people? Right, leadership is a skill. Being able to get people to do something or work towards a goal, that's a skill you need to learn. Also learning how to speak very well. If you work in tech or almost anywhere, you have to actually demo things, speak to people. There is a certain way that you can speak that, it goes, a very quick story. When I was at my former company, they were interviewing. So I was interviewing people to join the company. And we're on this panel. So typically they have this stage of the interview where you've applied, they've given you a technical assessment, and then there's now a panel interview. This guy did so great in his technical interview, so he naturally moved to the panel interview. I'm on the panel, and despite how technically great he was, he just wasn't communicating well. He wouldn't speak up, he wouldn't it was just somehow, and he didn't move to the next stage. And I remember looking at his technical assessment, I'm like, this guy is good, but in this role, you might need to speak with stakeholders. We don't want somebody that, soft skills are things that AI cannot exactly, replace those soft skills. So they are very non-negotiable.
Yeah. So there are non-negotiables, and in order for you to be an asset in whatever industry you're in, there are non-negotiables, and those are the soft skills that you must have.
Soft skills.
Yeah, and yes, you said AI cannot take over. AI cannot take the place of, the soft skills. But people talk about AI takeover, AI takeover. AI is going to take jobs in the next 10 years. You even see it wherever you're going, scrolling. In the next 7 years, you don't have knowledge of AI, blah, blah, blah. You'll be left out, So what is true, what is exaggerated? What are the things that, yes, we know AI will definitely have an influence over, and what are the things that we need to focus on? So that as humans, we know what we're doing and we can actually work towards ensuring that we are assets in our company.
Definitely. I would say AI taking over people's job is not a complete myth. There is an aspect to it, right? So think about when we started, when, let's say, the whole corporate thing started, we had typewriters who needed to literally type, right?
Report.
Move from typewriters to, maybe people typing now on computers, and then we moved to people maybe just recording the call, getting the transcripts and all of those things, right? So now what's happening is that AI, right, is improving on what we already do. It's not replacing human beings, it's replacing tasks, right? The tasks that human beings do. So a person who can learn how to leverage AI would not be replaced, basically. So even for data analysis, for example, now, Claude can give you insights from your data without a data analyst coming to draw a graph and a chart and all. But there's a setup you need to do for that to happen. So if, for example, if I'm a data analyst, I'm an analytics engineer, I'm not a data analyst. If I'm a data analyst and I know how to leverage, Claude to give me insights, I don't think my job will go, because what it will help me to do is that, okay, they're like, oh, we need this insights. I'll be able to get it faster. Sure. Yeah, I'll be able to think about things that I typically will not think about on my own. So I'm learning how to incorporate AI into what I already do, right? So basically, that's a way to sort of stay ahead. However, I feel like there are some administrative tasks that AI would have to completely, replace. For example, we have customer service. If you call a bank, for example, now, they'll try to make sure, see if they can solve it before you speak to a real human being.
Speak, press 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Press 2, press
That's
3.
AI. That's AI to a large extent. And then when you now really need to, there'll be a human being. But with the way it's going, at some point,
After 2 minutes on the phone, you know what? Just press the one. Press one. Help me.
So So learning how to leverage AI in what you already do would keep you ahead.
That's using AI to your advantage is basically what we're saying in a nutshell. But how does someone build staying power in their career, in a world where careers are going obsolete? Not necessarily with AI, but you also speak to people who are trying to build themselves professionally. Aside from the trainings, what are